And so both of them are now on the IL. Darvish groin hamstring, Musgrove, it's the recurring inflammation, and it's in the throwing arm. And so, yeah, that's definitely concerning when the Padres are counting on not just Musgrove but Darvish as well, those guys to be frontline starters for this Padres team. If they want to go where they want to go, they're probably not going to be able to do it with just Cease and Michael King as those two guys, and then you got Walt. Like, are we gonna, bank on Matt Waldron pitching like this the entire year, pitching like this in the postseason? And I'm not saying that Darvish is out for the year. He's not. I'm not saying Musgrove is. Now, his is more concerning because it's with the arm and it's recurring. Where with Darvish, it feels like hamstring. He had a neck issue earlier in the year. It's not arm. And it seems like Darvish, it could be like best case scenario, a couple of weeks. Okay, get back, be good. He just had a, 25, something like that, inning scoreless streak. I'm not super worried there. It's more with Musgrove. He's the guy that Padres gave $100 million to. He's the guy that is, one of the aces of this team when he is pitching well. And it's not me being worried about him being able to pitch well because I'm confident in Joe. It's because I think we saw signs when he was back on the mound of him pitching well. Like once he got that time underneath him, those starts underneath that belt, I liked what I was seeing. It's is he going to be on the mound? Because for the Padres, it feels like Jesus Luzardo, right? He is the big fish probably before the deadline. There could be someone else that I'm not thinking about, but that's a name that I see keep getting brought up, right? Well, if the Padres had to give up what they gave up for Luis Ariz, what are they going to have to give up for Jesus Luzardo? And do they want to give that up? I would think the Marlins are going to ask for Lesko. They're going to ask for Snelling, Mazur. Not all of them. Well, they will ask for all of them, but they're not going to get all of them. Who would the Padres be willing to give up? Would they be willing to give up any of those guys? Probably Mazur, I would think. But would they? Lesko and Snelling, those two guys. I don't know if that's what AJ's thinking right now, but I thought those two guys were supposed to be two starting rotation, kind of like Mackenzie Gore before he got dealt, right? Maybe not frontline guys. Definitely one of them we want to be a frontline starter, but guys that are going to be young in the rotation. We obviously know the big contracts the Padres have, but those two guys, put them in the rotation, not making a whole lot of money, and that's really going to help this Padres team being able to spend on other areas of the roster, right? So I'm not so sure. I don't know if they would pull the trigger on that. It's June 2nd here, so there's going to be teams that might fall out of it that now won't be willing to give up a starter. So we'll see what happens. But with this Darvish and Musgrove IL announcements happening yesterday, it's like, yeah, Padres, it's like guaranteed they're going to get an arm, right? I thought Preller was going to go get another arm for the rotation just in case at some point before the deadline, even if guys were healthy, because you can never have enough arms. And we know Preller, it doesn't have to be an ace guy, but someone else, he has the capital to go get that still. So I thought that was definitely still going to happen. Now with this happening, those guys could be back before the deadline, okay, but are they going to stay healthy? And even if it looks good, you still can never have enough starting pitching because once the deadline happens, that's it. Remember was it 2021 where the deadline came, they didn't get, I think it was 2021, they didn't get pitching, and then Chris Paddock was throwing a bullpen, I think, and he gets hurt in that bullpen. I think he was ramping up or something. He gets hurt, and the Padres can't go get starting pitching, and then they end up having Vince Velasquez and Ross Detweiler and Jake Arrieta in the rotation at the end of the year. I'm not saying that exact situation would happen again, but you don't want something like that happening when you have postseason aspirations here. You have still a really talented roster. You added Dylan Cease. You added Luis Ariz. These are moves to go help you win right now. So you want to make enough moves where, okay, if an injury happens, it's okay. Where it's not going to be the end of the war. It's not going to be the end of our season, the end of our world, for that year. So that's really obviously what we're going to be looking out for next is who could replace Darvish and Musgrove in the immediate, right? And Adam Mazur, I think, is that guy. That's someone that stands out. Randy Vasquez. But deadline, what possible additions there? Don't give me Trevor Bauer. It's not happening. I'm not even going to have that conversation because I think it's just a waste of time. But what to know about Adam Mazur, by the way, because it seems like Kevin Acee hinted at it this weekend that Adam Mazur could be making that start Tuesday in place of Darvish, which that's going to be fun. If I could see Adam Mazur's debut in Anaheim, that'll be cool because I am heading up there. So hopefully. What to know? He's from Minnesota, St. Paul, Minnesota. He's in AAA El Paso right now. 23 years old. Second round pick in 2022. He went to Iowa. Has a 3.86 ERA so far this season in the minors. 10 starts, 51 and a third innings pitched, 50 punch outs. His whip is at 103. And he has not been with El Paso, I don't believe, the entire season. Yeah, he was with San Antonio for his first 5 starts, and he had a 2.39 ERA through those first 5 starts. And then he went to, or was it 5 or 6 starts? 1, 2, 3, 6 starts, excuse me. 4, 5, 6, 1.95 ERA, excuse me, through those 6 starts with San Antonio. And that's really the level where that's probably the highest ceiling talent. I don't think that's really AAA, especially with the Texas League. He went to El Paso, and he's gone 6 innings, 2 earned runs, 5 innings, 5 earned runs, 6 innings, 4 earned runs, 2 innings, 4 earned runs. That was his last outing, May 30th. Only 2 innings of work in that last outing. And I'm not going to act like I've been watching all of those outings, but it's someone that is one of the top prospects in the Padres farm system. He has pitched well, obviously, at times this season for the Padres. Again, just 23 years old. And it seemed like going into this year that he was going to make his debut before Snelling. It seemed like he was a little bit ahead of Robbie Snelling. And so we'll see if Tuesday he gets the call. But this is someone I don't think, I could definitely be wrong. And I should probably check with Jim Callis or someone like that. But it feels like this isn't someone that's projected to be a front line starter, but someone that could be maybe a Michael King or could be, a solid 4-5 starter. But you really never know until you go up to the big leagues. Now, facing the Angels, that it's not like that's the Dodgers, so that could be a good landing spot for his big league debut in Anaheim. There's probably going to be a good amount of Padres fans there. So I would not be surprised to see Adam Mazur be the one to get that call up. But it's going to be exciting. If he does get that call up, that will be exciting to see him pitch in a full game, see how he does. And will he have a ton of pressure if he does make that debut on Tuesday? Because you're facing the Angels. They could save Johnny Brito or Adrian Morejon and have Mazur go 4 innings, let's say. 3-4 innings. Have Brito, Morejon work another few, and then you have the bullpen after that. So it's not like they would be expecting him to go 6 innings, 6 shutout innings or something in his big league debut. So again, I think that could be a pretty good landing spot to make that debut Tuesday against the Los Angeles Angels. The Angels, by the way, entering this series against the Padres. Obviously, no Mike Trout. They're 21-38. So this qualifies as a series that the Padres should win. And it would be nice to get a sweep. It would be nice, especially coming off of this sweepable series against the Royals. And the Royals are one of the better teams in the American League. and the Padres should have swept them. So the Padres, they're playing pretty darn good baseball right now. It just sucks they couldn't get that sweep.